Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make the matching top for the granny wide leg pants as well as the granny ruffle stitch shorts. So you can decide to make this piece for any of those or any other outfit of your choice. So for me, I decided to pair them up, and for those people who don't know, I already have written pattern for the wide leg pants as well as the ruffle granny stitch shorts, and there's also a written pattern for this top as well. So if you would like a copy of the written pattern, just check the link in the description box below. So for the materials, you will need a measuring tape, and then you also need a darning needle, a crochet hook. The hook that I'll be using is a 4mm crochet hook, and then a pair of scissors, and then yarn. For the yarn, I approximately needed 2 balls of yarn to finish the whole project, and each ball here is 150 grams. It's Winter King. It's a 4-ply acrylic yarn, and it's a DK weight yarn. So anything of those aspects can be a great substitute for this. So let's get started. So we're going to start off with the bra cups. A few things that you will learn from this tutorial are how to make the picot stitch on the edging of the bra cups. Then you also learn how to make sturdy straps for your bralettes, and then you'll also learn an interesting stitch, the one that we used on the bottom band of the top. And yeah, so you're going to start off with a slip knot. You're going to cross over your yarn like this, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through. So this is our slip knot, and I am going to make a chain of 16 for my size. I am making for a size medium. For all the other sizes, check on the screen and follow those instructions. So I have my chain of 16, and we are going to go into the second chain from the hook. So not this one, but this one. So you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a single crochet. So continue to single crochet in each and every chain all the way down your chain. So continue this until you reach the second last chain. All right, so we have just placed a single crochet in the second last chain, and as you can see, we are left with only 1 chain. And in that 1 chain, you're going to place a total of 3 single crochets, all in the same chain. So once you place your 3 single crochets into the very last chain, you're going to place a stitch marker into the middle stitch of the 3 single crochets. Just place a stitch marker there, and then you're going to turn your work onto the opposite side, and you're going to place 1 single crochet in each and every chain, making sure that we are weaving in this tail as well. So just hold it along the line and continue to single crochet in each and every chain on the opposite side of the chain. All right, so we're almost coming to the end of our row, and you're going to just place 1 single crochet in every chain until the end of the row. So this should be my very last chain, and I'm placing a single crochet there. So we have this. So what we are going to do is keep working like this, and then back, and then back and back, and this is going to build our bra cup. We are not going to be building on the base of the bra cup. So let's go on to row 2. For row 2, you're going to make a chain of 1, and this is the row that we are going to keep repeating. So chain 1, turn your work, single crochet into the very first stitch. The chain 1 at the beginning of the row doesn't count as a stitch, so you go into the very first stitch, this one, and place a single crochet, and then single crochet all the way up until you reach the stitch right before the one with the stitch marker. All right, so when you place a single crochet in the stitch before the one with the stitch marker, you're going to remove your stitch marker from the next stitch, and into that stitch you're going to place 3 single crochets in the stitch which had the stitch marker. Place 3 single crochets and bring back your stitch marker and mark the middle stitch of the 3 single crochets you just placed, just like that. And then you're going to go all the way down, placing 1 single crochet in each and every stitch until the end of the row. So we are coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing my very last single crochet into the last single crochet of the previous row. And this is what you should have. You're going to repeat this row again and again, and you will see your bra cup building until you get enough coverage for your bra cup. I'll be mentioning the rows that I did for mine, and I will be recommending the different rows for the different sizes in my next clip. So I did a total of 15 rows for the bra cup. Now we're going to go on to the edging. If you want something bigger than this, you just continue working back and forth and continue building onto your bra cup until you get the size that you want. So after this, you're going to make a chain of 4, turn your work, skip the next stitch, which is this one, and then double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next. So we are creating a mesh pattern around the bra cup. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, and repeat that all the way up until you get to the top corner of the bra cup. All right, so we're almost at the top, and I'm placing my next double crochet here, and this is my exact middle stitch, the next stitch here. So I'm going to make a chain of 1 and go into that middle stitch with 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet into the same stitch, just like that. And then you're going to continue with the mesh pattern all the way down. So chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet into the next, all the way down. All right, so we're almost coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing 1 double crochet into the very last stitch, just like this. So after the mesh pattern around, we're going to start doing a picot stitch on the edge. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the very first space, chain 4, slip stitch into these 2 loops of the single crochet, the 2 loops that are facing you. Make a slip stitch in there, and then 1 single crochet into the same space. So this is going to create some kind of spike on the edge, and then go into the next space and do the same thing. 1 single crochet, chain 4, slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet that are facing you, and then 1 single crochet into the same space. And you're going to repeat this all the way up. All right, so when you get to the chain 2 space at the top of the bra cup, this is what you're going to have. And then you're going to go into the chain 2 space with 1 single crochet, and then place 1 more single crochet into the same space, and then start chaining 3. Now after the chain 3, you're going to place a double crochet into the same space, just like this. So we've started working on the strap. So chain 3 and double crochet in the space below, chain 3, double crochet in the space below. So we are building onto our strap until we get the length that we need. So let me just go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you, I'll mention how many segments that we shall do for the strap when I get the length that I want. Alright, so I did a total of 35 segments for my strap, those little loops that are created. So 35 of them, and then I'm going to make a chain of 3 and go into the very first loop, into that space, and place 1 single crochet. Chain 3, 1 single crochet into the next loop, and repeat that all the way back to the body of the bra cup. So this is going to create a very sturdy strap for your bra cup. Alright, so we're coming back to the body of the bra cup, and I'm placing my very last single crochet in the last loop of the strap. So this is what your strap will look like. And then from here you're going to make a chain of 3 and single crochet into the same exact space where you place the double crochet, just like that. And then from here we're going to go onto the opposite side of the bra cup, creating these spikes on the opposite side. So you can see this side is finished and this side is not yet finished. So go ahead and single crochet into the next space, chain 4, slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet that are facing you, and then single crochet into the same space, just like we were doing on this side. So single crochet, chain 4, slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet, and then single crochet again into the same space. So go all the way down, and I'll meet you back at this point. So I've reached the very last space, and I'm placing 1 single crochet, chain 4, then slip stitch into the single crochet, and then single crochet into the same space. So what we have on this side should be the same exact thing that we have on the opposite side. As you can see here, Now after this, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn. All right, so this is what we have. You're going to repeat the same exact process for your second bra cup. As you can see here, I have mine ready, so that you have two identical bra cups, and then I'll meet you back to show you how to do the downer design. All right, now we're going to work on the bottom band of the top, and this is going to create a lacy design, a very beautiful lacy design. So to start off, you're going to first make a chain that runs across your front bust, as well as partially backwards around your rib cage, but not totally around the lower bust, not around the rib cage, because we need to leave space for lacing up. So once you're done with this, you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, and you're going to place a single crochet. And then you're going to continue to single crochet in each and every chain. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the row, and I'm placing my very last single crochet in the last chain here, and that marks the end of row 1. You should have something that looks like this. Now we're going on to row 2. Row 2 is going to start with a chain of 3. Turn your work. The chain 3 is attached to the very first stitch, which is this one. So we're going into the next stitch with a double crochet. So you yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet in the US terms. So far we have 2 double crochets. You're going to yarn over and prepare for a double crochet, skip over 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to place a double crochet there. Then you're going to make a chain of 3, single crochet into the next stitch, which is this one, chain 3, and then into the next stitch you're going to place a double crochet without skipping a stitch. And then from here you're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, then double crochet into the next. So that's the pattern repeat. You'll have something that looks like this. 2 double crochets, then this double crochet after skipping a stitch, a single crochet after the next stitch, then a double crochet, then skip a stitch, then 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next. Then let's repeat that one more time. You're going to prepare for a double crochet, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the next stitch, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. So this is what you have. So we're going to repeat this all the way across. Let me show you that one more time. Prepare for a double crochet, skip a stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the next stitch, skip one stitch, and double crochet into the next, and double crochet into the next stitch. So this is what your work will look like. Alright, so you're going to repeat the pattern until you have a total of 7 chains, and at this point I'm at that level where I have 2 double crochets here. So I'm going to prepare for a double crochet, skip over the next stitch, and 1 double crochet into the next, and then chain 3, single crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, double crochet into the next stitch. So we are still going with the flow of the pattern. After this, you're going to skip the next stitch, and you should be left with 2 stitches, which are going to get 1 double crochet in each. And this is how you end your pattern. Now we are going on to row 3. All right, so for row 3, you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work. All right, after your chain of 3, you're going to go into the next stitch, which should be this one, and you're going to place a double crochet in there. Then you're going to make a chain of 2, and you're going to go into the next chain 3 space, which should be this one, and place a single crochet. Chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, skip over all these stitches and place 1 double crochet in each of these double crochets. So you're going to skip over this double crochet and then go into those 2 double crochets that we were placing from the previous row, and you're going to place 1 double crochet into each. So this is what you should have. Then from here, you're going to make a chain of 2, single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and then double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Now we are going to repeat that. Chain 2, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, skip the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet into the next, and 1 double crochet into the next. So this is what your work will look like. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. All right, so we're coming to the end of row 3, and we're still going. After your 2 double crochets, chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, and skip the next stitch. You're going to place a double crochet in the second last stitch and on top of the very last chain 3, because it counted as a double crochet, so it gets a double crochet, and this marks the end of row 3. So let's go on to row 4. I'm sorry, the stitches are quite small, but if you follow the instructions, you'll get that beautiful lacy pattern just like we have here. So this is the pattern that we are trying to achieve. You can see how beautiful it is, under the bralette. So just be patient with it. It will grow into something really, really pretty. All right, so for row 4, you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work. Into the next stitch, you're going to place a double crochet. So by now you should notice that the extreme beginning and the extreme end of this pattern is made of 2 double crochets on the edge. So after your double crochet, we have 2 double crochets since the chain 3 counts as a stitch. And then from here, you're going to prepare for a double crochet and go into the chain 3 space. So skip over the chain 2 space, and into the chain 3 space, you're going to place a double crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the same space, chain 3, and double crochet into the same exact space. And then from here, you're going to skip over the next chain 2 space and then go into the double crochet stitches with 1 double crochet in each of the 2. So just like this. Then from here, prepare for a double crochet, go into the chain 3 space with a double crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the same space, chain 3, double crochet into the same space. Then you're going to skip over the chain 2 space and then double crochet into the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch, and that's the repeat for this row. If this is getting confusing, I already have a written pattern for you guys to purchase so that you can get a copy of this. So after the 2 double crochets, prepare for a double crochet, skip over the 2 chains and then into the chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the same space, chain 3, double crochet into the same space. Then skip over the chain 2 space, the next chain 2 space, and then double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. And that's the repeat for this row. You're going to go all the way across, and I'll meet you towards the end of the row. Alright guys, so I've made it all the way across and I'm done placing 1 double crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, double crochet into the very last chain 3 space of the previous row. And after this, I'll skip over the next chain 2 space, which is this one, and I'll place 1 double crochet in each of the 2 double crochets on the edge of the pattern. So you can tell you have 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, 2 stitches here, just like I had mentioned earlier on. So we have something like this. So we're going to keep alternating between rows 3 and 4, 3 and 4, until we get the length of the band that we want. I'm going to keep alternating that, and I'll be back to let you know how many rows that I'll have done for my top, and maybe you can do the same or even longer or even shorter if you wish. So I'm going to keep alternating between rows 3 and 4, and I'll be leaving for you guys the timestamps so that you can follow along easily. Okay guys, so I ended up doing a total of 11 rows, including the very first row of single crochet stitches. So total of everything is 11 rows, and this is what my work looks like. This is the bottom band of the top, and we're going to place it like this, whichever way you prefer. I don't know which side you prefer to be on top or the front side, but for the bra cups, the side where we worked our very final row of the picot stitch should be the wrong side, so you're going to just turn it around like this, and this should be the right side. So you're going to place your work like this, get your second bra cup and place it as shown below. So you're going to fold over your bottom band into half, and then you'll mark that stitch. For me, I think the middle part is here. Now we're going to get our yarn, and we're going to start attaching the bra cups onto the bottom band of the top. So I'm going to cut a very long strand. Now that I know exactly where the middle part is, let me just pull it up a bit. You're going to get your darning needle, and you're going to go into that middle part and then one side of the bra cup, the very first bra cup. So when you're pulling through, don't pull the whole tail, because this tail here is going to work the opposite side. That's why I told you to cut a long strand. So whatever you leave here is the one going to attach the second bra cup. So we're going to attach twice into the very first stitch of the first bra cup, and then from here onwards we're going to go into the into the double crochet space with 2 stitches of the band. So we are allocating 2 stitches of the bottom band into the double crochet space. Then from here you're going to go into each stitch, allocating it onto one row of the bra cup. So each row gets 1 stitch of the bottom band. And make sure you do this neatly so that we don't see the strings when you're joining. So this is what we have. You're going to go all the way across. So you're going to still put 2 stitches into the double crochet space of the mesh stitch around the bra cup, and then join the very last row of the bra cup into the next stitch. So this is exactly what we have. So from here you're going to just grab the tail that you left behind on your bra cup and make a double knot with the strand that you are using to join. So you're going to go back to the tail that you left behind and thread your darning needle, and then start joining from the exact middle stitch, the same exact way that we did for the first bra cup. Alright, so we are done attaching our second bra cup, and the space that you have left on this side should almost be the same exact distance that you have on the opposite side. So if we compare, we have almost the same exact length on the side of the bra cups. So from here, I'm going to just turn my work onto the wrong side and I will weave in this tail because we no longer need it. So after that, you're going to weave in all your other tails that you don't need at all. Alright, so after everything, this is what you'll have. Of course, if you wanted your band to go around even further, that means you would have done way more chains for the starting chain of the bottom band of your top. Now you're going to grab your yarn. So you're going to start making the straps that are going to go to the back. You can either make them the same exact approach as the upper straps, or you can make just a plain chain. For this one, I'm going to make a plain chain because I don't want the back straps to be bulky. So you're going to make a slip knot and you're going to make a chain of around 150. Alright, so I decided to do a total of 120 chains because 150 was going to be so long. So make sure your work is facing the right side. And we're going to go into these rows of the bottom band, placing 2 single crochets into each and every row. So after placing your 2 single crochets in each row, then you're going to place 1 single crochet into the single crochet row, and then make the same exact number of chains that we have on this side. So if you have 120 chains, then you're going to make a total of 120 chains on this side as well. So after your 120 chains, you're going to cut your yarn, and then you're going to also get rid of these excess strands on the ends of the straps, just like this. And then you're going to repeat the same exact process on the opposite side. So we've done it on this side, do the same thing on this side as well. Alright guys, so we are done with the straps that are supposed to go to the back, and this marks the end of our tutorial. And this marks the end of our tutorial. This is how the final look is, and if you would like the written pattern, you can check it out on all my online shops. The pattern for the pants is also available on all my online shops. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.